It seems like more Canadian chaos is brewing in the final trailer for Letterkenny's 11th season. Hulu released the first trailer for season 11 of the show, which promised more problems, more scraps, and an even bigger surprise. Fans seem to be pretty excited about it after this came out. In today's video, let's talk about this as well as the fact that characters Riley and Jonesy got the best of Shoresy only once. First off, what Letterkenny season 11 trailer is all about. On the 5th of December, Hulu released the first trailer for season 11 of Letterkenny. This had an extremely overwhelming reception from fans who shared it across several social media platforms, including YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter. Upon watching it, viewers should be able to realize that it follows the return of the residents of Letterkenny, the Hicks, the Skids, and the hockey players. But they're not the only ones returning. Their problems will also be back, promising an all-new season full of scraps, unwanted guests, and vigilante justice. Plus, even Shoresy is confirmed to return. According to the season 11 synopsis, the new episodes will also see the small town being invaded by influencers, or influenzas, as people may call them. Similarly, a couple of degens will also be seen stirring up trouble. This definitely calls for an exciting season, and we can't wait to see how it turns out. Next up, what do we know so far about the new season? Following the release of the trailer, fans might be wondering when the season comes out. Well, they should know that Letterkenny's 11th season will premiere on Crave on December 25th, and on Hulu a day later on the 26th. This season will be the first new content from Letterkenny since the International Women's Day special, which was released in March 2022. It saw the women of the small town organize their own anti-beauty pageant. Also, fans would know that Letterkenny's first ever full-length spin-off series, Shoresy, premiered on Hulu in May of 2022. It followed the titular foul-mouthed hockey player, portrayed by the show creator Jared Kiso. Season 1 of the spin-off series, which consisted of 6 episodes, marked the first time audiences have seen the hockey player's face since he first appeared on the original show. In addition to this, who's part of the cast of season 11? Now that we know when the season's coming out and what the basic premise is, let's have a look at who will be part of the cast. Well, thankfully, much of the ensemble is back for this installment. This includes Michelle Millette, K. Trevor Wilson, Nathan Dales, Jared Kiso, Lisa Codrington, Mark Forward, Camilla Cowell, and Clark Bacco. In addition to them, we'll also be seeing Dan Petronievich, Canidio Horn, Tyler Johnston, Melanie Scrofano, Dylan Playfair, Andrew Hare, Jonathan Torrens, and Sarah Wayne Callies. Also back, after being absent in the previous season, James Daly and Gregory Waters will be returning as well. And that isn't all. There are countless other new and old additions to the cast of the season, so we're looking forward to a super interesting and jam-packed upcoming season. Moving on, how will the upcoming season follow the events of season 10? Those looking forward to the 11th season might be rewatching or considering revisiting the previous ones. So let's go over the events of season 10 briefly. Firstly, it premiered on Hulu on December 26th in 2021, an exact year before the recent one came out. The 6-episode season saw not only preemptive prostate exams, but also the return of familiar friends and enemies alike. These included Katie's ex-boyfriend, Dierks, and Wayne's ex-fiancée, Marie Fred. It also introduced new adventures for the Hicks, such as attending a Mennonite sausage party with Noah Dick. Typically, Letterkenny releases 2 seasons per year, but that release frame was adjusted due to the COVID-19 pandemic, which caused production delays. What many fans might not know is that Letterkenny first began under the title of Letterkenny Problems back in 2013. It started off as a series of skits on YouTube featuring Kiso's Wayne and Nathan Dale's Daryl, telling stories about the fictional rural town of Letterkenny. The Canadian network Crave picked up the show later in 2016, and it became a cult hit. Hulu landed the streaming rights for it in 2018, causing Letterkenny's popularity to take off in the United States. Along with Kiso and Dales, the show stars Michelle Millette as Katie and K. Trevor Wilson as Squirrely Dan. Evan Stern, Tyler Johnston, Patrick McNeil, and Danny Van Zandwick have also appeared as the Skids, Roald, Stuart, Connor, and Darian in the series. Coming up, let's talk about how Riley and Jonesy got the best of Shoresy only once. It's clear to everyone that in the world of Letterkenny, there's really no one who chirps like Shoresy. He's not at all afraid to bring the lumber on the ice either, and his favorite targets for his non-stop trash talking have always been Riley and Jonesy from the very start. Shoresy has been able to get the better of this not-so-dynamic duo more often than not, but thanks to Tyson and Joint Boy, Riley and Jonesy managed to put one over on him. If we're comparing hockey and professional wrestling, the closest to Shoresy would have to be Ric Flair. They have to be the dirtiest players in their respective games. But also, it's not that Shoresy doesn't have any legit talents or qualities. The man can play for sure, but he likes to play hockey the tough way, taking a stick to an opponent's ankles if the moment calls for it. Frankly speaking, that might be the nicest of all of his moves. People can recover from physical injuries, but the emotional scars he leaves with his his chirps actually never heal. Next up, Shoresy's chirps can cut unexpectedly deep. Ultimately, Riley and Jonesy learned all of this the hard way after playing alongside Shoresy for years on various Letterkenny teams. To be clear, they were all on the same side, and Shoresy still verbally demoralized them with his comments again and again. He made sure he was intruding into every aspect of their game and their personal lives, and that doesn't even get into his verbal assaults about their mothers. Surprisingly, these were mothers that he was sleeping with at the time. The worst part of both of them was that Shoresy got the better of them almost every single time. Simply put, he was just better than them at chirping. However, all of that changed in episode 6 of season 3 when they brought in Tyson and Joint Boy to join the team. This duo went from being opponents of Wayne to becoming two of his closest friends and allies. A whole lot of mutual respect came directly from their scraps. The boys could play quite well, but the team needed some muscle on the ice. That's the kind of role Tyson and Joint Boy realized they excelled in. Moving on, Tyson and Joint Boy managed to silence Shoresy just once. Eventually, the moment everyone had been waiting for finally arrived. Riley and Jonesy were sitting on a bench with Shoresy, who was chirping at them and talking a bit of trash about Katie, who was in the stands. Rather than trying to take him on verbally, they just asked Tyson and Joint Boy to beat the crap out of him right then and there. They were happy to oblige and proceeded to shut him up. This was a rarity, as the only time that usually happens is when Shoresy cries. We haven't seen it very often during the actual show, but it happens a surprising amount of times on the spin-off series Shoresy. And the interesting thing is that no one's suggesting that this was a smart or a good plan. Riley and Jonesy didn't even have this in mind when they brought in Tyson and Joint Boy. For them, it was just a happy accident that the two biggest thugs in town were on the bench at the same moment when Shoresy opened his mouth. Fortunately for Riley and Jonesy, their hired guns didn't need a reason to lay a beating on someone. It probably didn't hurt that Shoresy was talking smack about Wayne's sister either. The simple reality was that they didn't have a snowball's chance in a very hot place of beating Shoresy in a war of words. It was even less likely that they could beat him on the ice, or even in a fight. Their only hope was a pair of Letterkenny's best bruisers who never say no to a scrap, and don't care if it was with their teammate. And last but not least, why is Shoresy's face never revealed in the series? The most interesting fact about the presentation of Shoresy's character in Letterkenny is that his face is never revealed in the series, adding a touch of mystery to the character. There have been several theories about why this is so, but as it turns out, there's a highly fascinating reason, and it's closely tied to the actor who portrays Shoresy's character in the sitcom. Fans probably know that Jared Kiso, the creator of Letterkenny, is also one of the sitcom writers. In addition, he plays the lead character Wayne and Shoresy. Because of this, it's understandable why the character's face is never shown to the audience. His character can be seen on both ends of the spectrum, providing comic relief to being a primary antagonist. The character's foul-mouthed exclamations have been an extremely vital part of the show. His countless schemes and attempts to sabotage opposing ice hockey teams have also been significant throughout. Although Shoresy's not a central character in the show, he's had a deep impact during all 11 seasons of the series, so it's safe to say that the decision not to reveal his identity in the sitcom only helps to add to the titular character's mysterious nature. The intentional concealment of the character's face also enables the show to make recurring jokes revolving around his identity. Without this, perhaps, the series wouldn't have been as engaging as it is, and it's probably also why the showrunners decided to create a whole separate spin-off series. And with that, that's a wrap on this video. What did you think of the trailer for season 11 of Letterkenny? And do you agree that Riley and Jonesy got the best of Shoresy only once? Let us know down in the comments below. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.